The film opens as hopeful entertainer Hector P. Valenti, Javier Bardem, advances behind the stage to a tryout, regardless of everybody there having proactively told him no. He endeavors to do an enchanted demonstration, however Hector is informed that the demonstration is drained and that they are searching for something new. Hector then goes to a pet store to find a creature that he can use in his demonstration. While the retailer goes to look, he hears the melody, "I like it like that," and hears somebody chiming into it. Hector strolls to the back and tracks down a singing child crocodile, Shawn Mendes, and concludes he has tracked down his demonstration, and he names him Lyle. At his home in Manhattan, Hector attempts to get Lyle to sing once more, however he is timid and can sing yet not talk. Subsequent to giving him a scarf to fold over him, Lyle starts to sing a couple of notes. Hector then, at that point, composes a melody for both of them to perform, "Investigate Us Now," with both of them rehearsing a show-halting number at home. Be that as it may, when Hector at long last scores an opening at a show for both of them to perform, Lyle gags in front of an audience because of anxiety in front of large audiences, making him and Hector a fool where the crowd requests discounts. Hector lets Lyle be at home while he stirs things up around town to search for gigs and scrape up more money. Lyle is left inclination miserable and desolate. After 18 months, Hector's house is leased by Mr. and Mrs. Prim, Hurry McNary and Constance Wu, and their child Josh, Winslow Fegley. Mr. Prim is beginning a new position as an educator, while Mrs. Prim is known for her cookbooks. They meet their spoiled neighbor Mr. Mopes, Brett Gelman, who is the top of the local advisory group. Mr. Krabs likewise has a feline named Loretta, which Josh likes because of her being an intriguing variety, however Mopes is possessive of Loretta. The Prims then, at that point, subside into their new home, yet Josh is anxious of moving there because of how tumultuous the city can be. Subsequent to getting to his room, Josh leaves a milk bowl out for Loretta, who acknowledges it and makes her begin to really appreciate Josh. He then, at that point, goes to the loft with her and finds Lyle inside a glass case, where he is claiming to be full. Josh finds a note from Hector illuminating the peruser who Lyle is and that he is Hector's most valued belonging. Mrs. Prim takes Josh to school, where he rapidly feels like an untouchable since he strolls into a video being shot by a portion of the well-known kids. Later at home, he spends time with Loretta when he hears strides and singing coming from the upper room. He goes higher up and observes that Lyle is presently not for the situation. Josh goes over Lyle remaining on his rear legs, which monstrosities him out. Loretta murmurs and lurches toward Lyle, yet he inadvertently swallows her. Josh drives Lyle out of the condo and into the roads. He runs over a vagrant who threateningly requests Josh's telephone, yet he is saved when Lyle arises and thunders at the man, driving him off. He likewise winds up hacking Loretta out. While Lyle is as yet timid, he obliges Josh's solicitation to assist with directing him back home. Mr. Prim battles to set his raucous understudies up at school, while Mrs. Prim feels like she has slipped with her work, as well likewise with her loved ones. She finds a pack of chocolate-covered cherries that she advised her better half to quit eating since she figured out. Cherries were stacked with sugar and palm oil, however Lyle continues to attempt to sneak the sack back to her. In the interim, Josh makes one companion at school, a young lady named Trudy, verse heard, after she sees him perusing books on crocodiles, and he says he has a pet croc. Josh starts to invest energy with Lyle in private, both of them participating in exercises, for example, dumpster jumping around the city since Lyle appreciates eating what others discard. They go to a housetop where Josh informs Lyle regarding himself, like how Mrs. Prim is really his stepmom since his introduction to the world mother died when he was 2. Lyle then shows his abilities to sing, Top of the World, which astonishes Josh. Mrs. Prim in the long run gets Josh resting close to Lyle, which cracks her out. Josh pursues her and attempts to make sense of, yet Lyle gets up to speed to them and starts to sing, "That it is so sweet to be cherished by you, amazing Mrs. Prim." While she isn't completely gotten used to Lyle, he figures out how to arrive by rousing her to get once more into making new recipes. Tear up the recipe, and how to have a great time once more. She chooses to stay quiet about Lyle among her and Josh. Mr. Prim sees that his significant other has been more energetic of late and inquires as to whether she may be seeing another person. She chooses now as the ideal time to confess all to him about Lyle, so she and Josh get ready to present Mr. Prim to their pet croc. He goes crazy also and starts to move his better half and child out of the house until they are shocked to find Hector appearing. While Lyle is excessively distraught to see him, Hector wins him back by doing their routine number. Mr. Prim is irritated to find that Hector has a report that specifies that he is permitted to remain at their home for 15 days out of the year, yet Mrs. Prim figures they need to become acclimated to it since he is Lyle's unique proprietor. Lyle tracks down Mr. Prim's old wrestling outfit and whistle, and he urges him to return it on so they can have a wrestling match. In spite of the fact that Lyle makes a valiant effort, Mr. Prim can win, providing him with an increase in consolation that he wants to return to school and utilize the whistle to keep his understudies in line. Mr. Mopes has become dubious of the Prims because of the commotion he has been hearing from their home and the way that Loretta has been eating whatever Josh leaves for her, giving her touchy entrail condition. Malcontents holds a gathering with every one of the neighbors, driving Mr. and Mrs. Prim to go since he is searching out of the blue to have them thrown out. Hector appears and uncovers that he and Malcontents grew up together. He utilizes his appeal to distract from the Prims' circumstance and get Malcontents to ease off until further notice, which dazzles the Prims. Yet again Hector books one more show for himself and Lyle to perform, yet Lyle freezes up from anxiety in front of large audiences. Before long, some creature control officials appear in the wake of getting a mysterious tip. Hector escapes while the Prims endeavor to conceal Lyle, however it doesn't work and he is taken to a zoo. The Prims go to see Lyle, yet they can do nothing to free him. Lyle tragically remains in his nook with different crocodiles while he recalls his experience with both Hector and the Prims, diverted. Hector finds Josh, who can say for sure that it was Hector who warned creature control subsequent to being paid off by Mr. Weiners. He concedes to Josh that he realizes he screwed up with Lyle and that he was in every case more worried about getting cash and becoming famous while never thinking about Lyle's sentiments. He concludes he needs to give his very best for nothing Lyle. Hector goes to the zoo and utilizations performer stunts to advance into Lyle's fenced-in area, just to be met by the other threatening crocodiles. Lyle arises, yet he is as yet annoyed with Hector until Josh appears, and he tells Hector he understands what he needs to do. Hector apologizes to Lyle for treating him the way that he did and never pondering what he needs. Lyle holds the other crocs off, and Josh and Hector assist him with getting free. Sadly, the specialists appear. However, Hector makes a redirection utilizing a smoke bomb to permit Josh and Lyle to get away. Josh gets a plan to have Lyle perform on the singing show, "Show Us What You Got," to demonstrate that he isn't perilous. They take a cruiser and ride through the city prior to advancing toward the music corridor where the show is occurring. Josh finds Trudy, who is trying out, and she assists them with advancing toward the stage. In spite of the fact that Lyle is anxious, Josh lets him know this is the main way individuals can see what his identity is. After Josh starts to sing, "Investigate Us Now." Lyle beats his anxiety in front of large audiences and starts to sing, which astonishes everybody. Mr. and Mrs. Prim appear subsequent to following Josh's telephone, and they observe her as Lyle prevails upon everybody. The family then, at that point, needs to go to court with Lyle since Mopes is attempting to make it, so they get thrown out for lodging Lyle. Under the steady gaze of the adjudicator can choose. Hector shows up with a unique deed from his extraordinary grandma, who fabricated the house and specified that the house might be home to any colorful creature. With that, the adjudicator decides for the Prims, and everybody in the court cheers. Mr. Malcontents irately hollers at the Prims until Mr. Prim brings him down with a wrestling move. The Prims then get ready to travel with Lyle so he can see the remainder of the world. Hector says goodbye to Lyle until further notice, and he meets Trudy and her beatboxing snake, giving him a plan to address them as new ability. On the Brave of the City, Josh and Lyle find that Loretta has hid away with them, and the family starts to chime in to Crocodile Rock. Thank you so much for watching my recap of Lyle Lyle Crocodile. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't seen it yet, please check it out. It's a great movie with a lot of heart, and I think anyone would enjoy watching it.